Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our Chats with Emily, as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition, and we turn now to poem 334, All the Letters I Can Write. Now, it is interesting that Emily references letters and letter writing, so it is not clear to us how many letters Emily wrote. We have in our possession 1,304 of her letters, but we know that she wrote many, many more than this, and many of them she destroyed or they were just naturally lost. And that is, of course, kind of tragic to us. Now, the background of this poem is going to take us to a real debate about the degree to which Emily is a writer of erotica. That is to say, her language is intentionally sexual, and it is intentionally designed to challenge or to surprise, or dare we say it, even to shock. It is important that we know a little bit of background information about this poem. A cousin of Emily's, called Giuseppe Flint, recorded in her diary that she visited Amherst for commencement on the 10th of July, 1862. And then on the 21st of July, she received a letter from Emily. It had a rose enclosed in it, and the letter began, quote, "Dear Mrs. Flint, you and I didn't finish talking. Have you room for the sequel in your vase?" And then concluded with this poem. Now, some have argued that this poem is going to make certain kinds of sexual referencing. Now, Emily is so brilliant in the way she does this, so it's never totally clear. Is she talking about something sexual? Is she talking about writing poetry, for example? And this is one more reason that we love so much her poetry. One scholar has called this an intense and unsolicited invitation, end quote. Now, our assumptions are that you've been following our stuff at LearnStrong.net, down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. And if you have, I'm hopeful that you have already gone through our set of introductory comments, as well as our preceding 333 poems. We just finished with 333, The Grass Has So Little to Do. Now, if you did that reading with us, you know that we have already enjoyed poem 162, which has a very similar kind of feel to this poem, and maybe we'll go back to that one after we finish reading this poem. All the letters I can write are not fair as this. Symbols of velvet, sentences of plush, depths of rubies undrained, hid lip for thee. Play it where a hummingbird and just sipped me. Now, again, the point of the background matters here. The idea of all the letters I can write are not fair as this. The this, of course, is the rose that she shared in her letter. And by the way, Emily did this a number of different times where she liked to maybe present the letter with some kind of gift or something like that, in this case, the rose. And then she'll make comments about what it is that she has exchanged, possibly, right? Notice syllables of velvet, that word takes us back to poems 328 and 332. Sentences of plush, depths of ruby undrained, this idea that the letters that she has exchanged are nothing in comparison to the conversation or something else that she would hope that maybe she would have. Guys, when we called this series Chats with Emily, there were any number of reasons why we did it, and this poem is one of those reasons. Notice the idea of hiding and the idea of body parts, hid, lip, and then it all comes back for thee. In other words, everything I've got and that I'm trying to share with you, I'm sharing it with you specifically vis-a-vis this letter. And then she goes to this key word of the poem, play. Guys, I think this is often overlooked at times. Emily is constantly playing with her language. She's constantly, I think, enjoying the playing with language. And whether this poem is sexual or not, I think is going to be in large measure dependent upon how you read it. Play it were a hummingbird. Now, she'll use hummingbird in poem 380 and 436 one more time. Of course, the hummingbird is the perfect bird in many ways. Of course, bobolink is the one she loves, but a hummingbird is the perfect bird to represent Emily's project, if we can call it that. And she'll finish, just sipped me. And the only time she ever used the word sipped was in this poem. And of course, many have read this as directly sexual. Others have said Emily's playing. That's exactly why she uses the word itself. If we need to find a message here, I think at 2A, it would probably be sometimes words are not enough. And I'll let you interpret how you think the theme or message of this poem works for you. At 2B, I love the word choices here. Play and, of course, finish. Are we talking sexual? Are we talking about the ending of a conversation that only got started and there's a longing for more of that? This poem does take us back, though, to poem 162, where she spoke to Mary Boyles, and you'll remember as we commented on that poem, it ran like this: my river runs to thee, blue sea, wilt welcome me? My river waits reply, O sea, look graciously, I'll fetch thee brooks from spotted nooks. Say, sea, take me. And you'll remember that we made the observation that this is an offering to Mary Boyles, maybe an erotic overture to a woman who, by the way, just like the recipient of this in Flint, several years older, not necessarily close, and both of them married, which makes it a fascinating case study as well. Finally, to own a poem like this, how do you read this poem? And to what degree are you enjoying Emily's play? I'm hopeful that you are. Thank you.